Barry sent a message to my attorney through Messenger. It went to my attorney's messenger, but my attorney did not reply or even accept this friend request. Barry is really desperate, but he puts himself in a further bad position. Now listen to this letter. I will read it to you. Oh my God. Look, I knew Barry was stupid. Everybody do this. But this is a prime example of stupidity. Now, let me read you his letter. Barry wrote this to my lawyer. I just got it in, and talk about stupidity that's going to put him in a worse situation. Listen to this. You ready for this? He sent a messenger to my lawyer. My lawyer did not respond or accept the friend thing on there. You ready for this? Okay. Your client, Frank Battaglia, has a cyber libel case against me. Well, my lawyer wouldn't know that, right? Listen to this, he needs to drop it. I am in the custody of the Bureau of Immigration. I am to be deported, not to be detained further, because he's got his feelings hurt. He's saying that to my wife, because I got my feelings hurt. Yeah, that's why you're in there, because I got my feelings hurt. Okay, let me finish. I'll say that again, part. He's not to be detained further, he says, because he got his feelings hurt. Then he goes on to say, my mother is sick and in the hospital. I do not care about Frank Battaglia's case. He's stupid stuff that I'm not a Filipino. He wasn't going to understand about this. You don't have to be Filipino to have a case against you. We've been listening to this shit with Barry for how long now? That the law doesn't care about you. You know, if you're a Filipino, if you're not a Filipino, you got no power against an American, that kind of shit. Let me finish this off. My mother is sick and in the hospital. I do not care about Frank Battaglia's case. He is not a Filipino. And I will not be held. He's telling my lawyer and the law what to do. And I will not be held here no longer because of his revenge. Your client is not a stable person. Wow. I mean, he's writing to my lawyer who is not representing Barry. And that don't look good. My lawyer went on further to say prior to this, after the service of the warrant, the case will start. There'll be an arraignment, there'll be a pre-trial, and then there'll be a trial. Okay. After the warrant is served, he will still be detained if he has no money, unless somebody has like another 200,000 spare pocket change, and then more for lawyer retaining and this, and answer to this, answer to that. Anyway, that's the newest thing. Is that not beat all? They don't believe me? Look at this. This is for real. I didn't write this up. Oh my God. This guy is stupid. I mean, he can't be nice to anybody. I mean, he wants his freedom, but he'll do things like even to Ricky. Ricky brings him over food, but, where's my brisket? He wants his cake and eat it too, is what he wants, and he's in no position for that. And Barry just doesn't understand this. I wrote back to Laura, I said, there's nothing wrong with his mother, and that letter is evidence of interference. I said, that statement really is damaging to him. Copy it, use it. I told him just now. Can you believe that? I'm going to read you this again in case you people I know you maybe hitting your head against the wall saying, look, I knew Barry was stupid, but I didn't know he was that stupid. So I'm going to read the letter again. He found my lawyer on Messenger to his Facebook, okay? He says, I will send you the message of Barry. He sent it to my messenger, but I did not reply, even accept his friend request. And then Barry goes on to write to my lawyer, your client, Frank Battaglia, has a cyber libel case against me. He's telling the lawyer to drop it. Listen to this. He needs to drop it. I am in the custody of the Bureau of Immigration. And your point, Barry? Anyway, he goes, I am to be deported, not to be detained. Well, that's wishful thinking, Barry. You're going to be detained. I am to be deported, not to be detained further, because he got his feelings hurt. Whether this is really from Barry, I don't know, but I imagine that it is. Because he got his feelings hurt, because that is Barry's line, because Frank's upset with him because I got my feelings. No, I'm not upset with Barry because I got my feelings hurt. Because he's a criminal, that's why. And he threatened my life. And he called me a child predator. And now he's trying to plead with my lawyer, but he's doing it in such a dumbass way that he's incriminated himself even further. Says, and I will not be held here no longer because of his revenge. Your client is not a stable person. Well, that's under cybercrime. What is he doing? He's telling my lawyer that I'm not a stable person. When the reason Barry's in jail for why he's having a case against him on cybercrime is because he's not a stable person. That he has committed some heinous crimes. That don't beat all. Yeah, I just got this. I'm writing him as we speak. Not a good thing he did. Are you guys loving this or what? Sorry, but when some things like this come up about Barry, as much as I want to talk about him on here, then I have to talk about it because he has done some of the stupidest things that anybody's ever done on YouTube in his so-called career on YouTube, okay? Can you believe that he wrote my lawyer? What do you think about that, Ricky? Was that a good move, Ricky, on your client? Barry's your client. And you want to raise money for Barry, huh? Oh, my God. I'm going to read it just one more time because it's just too good. This is Barry writing on a messenger to my attorney. You ready? Again? Your client, Frank Battaglia, has a cyber libel case against me. He's telling my lawyer that he needs to drop the case. Get this? He's demanding. He needs to drop it. I am, which is SM. He meant AM, meaning AM, not SM. Mall. ISM, in the custody of the Bureau of Immigration. I am to be deported. Well, that's what Ricky kept on telling me. I am to be deported. I am to be deported, not to be detained further, because he got his feelings hurt. My mother is sick and in the hospital. I do not care about Frank Battaglia's case. It don't matter whether you care about the case or not. You got a case against you. It's not Frank Battaglia's case. It's not a case against me. It's a case against you. Because I do not care about Frank Battaglia's case. He is not a Filipino. Now, again, with this Filipino shit, always harping on this thing. Well, Frank can't do nothing because he's not a Filipino. Well, you're in jail for immigration that I certainly helped get you in there, bud. And, I'm not a Filipino. And the cyber count things, he doesn't know ethnicity. Cybercrime, they don't base themselves on ethnicity, religion, origin, whatever. You don't have to be a Filipino. You don't have to be a foreigner. White skin, dark skin. It just doesn't matter. So it says, because I don't care about Frank Battaglia case. He is not a Filipino. And I will not, no longer, because of his revenge. Your client is not a stable person. Well, you know how I could answer that as far as your client is not a stable person. What I could say about him to prove how unstable he is, pulling a knife on a waitress, threatening my life, calling me, taking his life in his own hands by calling me a child predator. No, that's not a stable person right there. Wow. It just gets better and better and better. Okay? Anyway, the news is once he is served with an arrest warrant, it's going to come from Wild Ball. It's not going to come from Burley because he was technically served initially in more. That's what they're using. Okay. So they will send a courier or police, whatever it is, to go serve him. Once they serve him the arrest warrant, one of several things could happen. They could be taking him with him and putting him in another facility, or they will ask him, well, they're going to put him in jail somewhere, or I don't know what they're going to do. He's already in jail, so I'm kind of, really loose on this right now. But this is whole separate from the immigration. Remember, keep your brain open. This is separate from the arrest warrant. Separate procedures. Okay. Now, normally by law, it's a cybercrime case that he could get bail. But he would have to raise 200,000 pesos for bail. But under the situation, he's a risk because his immigration status and why he's in lockup to begin with. Okay. He could be, they used to call it a flight risk. Flight does not mean on an airplane. It means you could take off and go hiding again. So whether that's going to happen, whether they're going to offer him bail under the circumstances, no, I can't sit here and tell you that. I know, isn't that funny, Sex Bat Task Force? He's telling my lawyer, I do not care about Frank Battaglia's case. He's not a Filipino. He can't do nothing. Well, he said that before, but he's in jail. I can't do nothing. I'm not going to get arrested. I'm not going to get deported. And I will not be held here no longer, he says, because of his revenge. Your client is not a stable person. Well, the person that's writing this is not a stable person. Wow. Hey, folks, does it get better and better? Come on with the thumbs up, for God's sakes. You guys are not very generous at all, and I provide you with the best of information in the world. I don't have to tell you about any of this. I can just enjoy it on my own. But, successors like company sometimes, too. Oh, thank you for that thumbs up. All right, I'm going to read it one last time. This is a letter that was just recently sent to my attorney. Come on, Tom Sack. Your client, Frank Battaglia, has a cyber libel case against me. He needs to drop of immigration. I am to be deported, not to be detained. Further, because he got his feelings hurt. Can't believe he said that to my lawyer. Believe me, it ain't because I got my feelings hurt. If I just got my feelings hurt, you wouldn't be in jail. You wouldn't have 5 cyber crimes against you, dear Jack. My mother is sick and in the hospital. I do not care about Frank Battaglia's case because he's not a Filipino. Duh, with that one again. And I will not be held here no longer because of his revenge. Your client is not a stable person. Okay. Ooh. Boy, Alberto. Oh, Alberto, that's another. Can you believe this shit? This is real. I just showed the text on here. I didn't write it. I didn't write anything up. I promise you that. I didn't write anything up. Yeah, so there you go. I think at this point I need to be a little bit more closed-mouthed unless he gets a formal arrest and, they take him out of there. But there's going to be, generally what happens in these situations, folks, once he gets an arrest warrant, after service of a warrant, the case will start. It'll start with an arraignment, then it goes to a pre-trial, and then it goes to trial. And all that could take a pretty dang long time. Pretty dang long. So he could potentially be in some kind of lockup for a pretty damn long time. What do you think of that, Ricky? Ricky, the know-it-all that don't know shit. That's been lying to everybody. He has no fucking clue. Did he know that Barry, he would have took, well, he don't care, but Barry's a joke to him, obviously, but I was going to say, did he know that Barry wrote my lawyer? And that was a really stupid thing because he was being sassy with my lawyer. My lawyer is representing me, not him. And he's telling the lawyer that your client is not a stable person. And all that does is cements the 5 counts against him. It cements the 5 counts against him. It makes it worse for him to try to find some kind of a loophole. Loopy. Man, I tell you, folks, if anybody deserves to be in jail, that is one of them that does. Barry is where he needs to be. It had to come to an end sooner or later. If I had to be the person to do it, then so be it that I had to be the person to do it. With all the pussies and cowards out there that didn't want to do anything, didn't want to contribute, money promised to me. If I got him in jail, and I did, and I had 3 different people bail out on me on the promise that they made for 50,000 a piece, 50,000 pesos a piece, especially highlighting Philippines, Pennsylvania trucker. Okay. Yeah, pretty much, Johnny Adriel. Not pretty much, it is. I mean, why am I just, giving him credit, I guess so, Capitan Nut Hansen. You guys, your names, even if you are trolls going under a sock name, that's some pretty funny shit, I must say. See, I admit the things, if something's funny, whether you're a troll or not, I'm going to say, hey, man, that was really funny, you create a skit or something, and I thought it was funny. Hey, I've given many compliments to certain skits that were made against me. I laughed my ass off. Okay, gotcha. I laughed my ass off. There were things that were created that just really made me laugh. It don't matter if they was a troll. It didn't matter that they were against me. Funny is funny. Creativity, I love creativity, troll or not a troll. I love the arts. I love creativity. And if you produce something that I think is funnier than shit, I'm going to say, yeah, man, I found that to be funnier than shit. You're German Seaman, not Hansen. It's like Helmut. Your name is not Helmut? Helmut? Hansen? Helmut Hansen, maybe. Helmut. Helmut's a German name. Helmut. Could also be a Norwegian name, too. You are ugly. Okay. Most YouTubers are, except me. I'm probably the best looking guy on here. I'm just being modest, yeah. Yeah. Helmut is German. Yeah, it is German. That it is. In October in Philippines. You're coming to the Philippines, Mr. Capitan. Aye, aye, Capitan. Not Hansen. Well, Hansen is a Norwegian name. So how do you figure this out? You're saying you're German, but Hansen is a Nordic name. Nordic. It's actually, yeah. Oh, yeah. Nut and Helmut. Stuff like that is German. Sauerkraut, Wiener Schnitzel, all that stuff. Yeah, I get it. But, the name, Hansen, that's Norwegian. You must have some Norwegian blood. It's Norwegian. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. That was a Nazi song, if anything, And they were singing about, what's the girl's name? Irene? Or Erica or something. It's about a woman's name. Oh, was it Nazi? Okay. But okay. Yeah, but there was a woman in there that they were making reference to. I forgot her name. That's what the song was about. For all about this woman. Erica. Okay. Very good. Excellent. So what do you guys think about this with Barry? Is this guy totally certifiable or what? Who would be stupid enough to write the fucking... I got it, yeah. Who would be stupid enough to write the other party's lawyer here in the Philippines? I mean, especially what he had to say in that letter. Now, my lawyer did not respond and he did not accept the friendship request. Can't be writing to my lawyer and what he had to say in there. Oh my God, Magnum. Ooh, man, it just gets better and better. Well, it gets worse and worse for this guy, and he just keeps on putting his foot in his mouth constantly and shooting himself in the feet, nails on his own coffin. I warned him for how many years that all this shit was going to get him in trouble. And he didn't want to listen because he's the cockiest motherfucker on the planet other than Ricky Pignose. Okay, Ricky Pignose, the American Indian guy, and he's about 5'4" and comes from Tulsa, Oklahoma. You know that one? Okay. Matt says, give Barry the judge's email address. Just in case he wants to help himself a little bit more. Very good, Matt. Very good indeed. Oh my God, Matt. Stupid is stupid does. Guys, didn't make that up. I read you word for word. Maybe my lawyer don't appreciate it. But when something's this funny, I'm going to share it with you. And there was nothing illegal I did by reading what he said, because there was nothing in there that was that, critical to expose, except for Barry's own stupidity, which I love exposing all the time. Wow. That's laughing. I'm really laughing. I'm not kidding. I laugh too hard, I'll cough because I got some phlegm. My nose is leaking. I got to blow it again. Wow. I've been hitting you up today all day. As information came in, whatever I felt that I could actually legally share, I shared. I didn't have to. I did that for my audience because I wanted them to see how bad of a situation he's in. Remember what I said on the show? There were 2 separate cases filed against him. One was cybercrime and the other was to the BID, the Bureau of Immigration, for his illegal immigration status. Okay, that was actually a case. That's why they arrested him. They would not have arrested him if there wasn't a case against him. So you understand what I'm saying? There has to be a case against somebody, an accepted case. has to be written and signed off. Everyone that leads up to the commissioner, and then the commissioner, then everyone that's after the commissioner. This is not an easy task to accomplish, but yes, I was able to do it, able to pull it off. He writes to my lawyer. Barry, I know you're listening to this because I know you got used to your phone. You know, you were dumber than the day is long, dude. You know that? Do you realize how fucked you are, Barry? And I know you're listening to this because you got used to your phone. You're not going anywhere, bud. You're not going anywhere. And you don't like your confinement right now? You think it's Gravy City, right? You get Ricky coming over with food and things like that. Well, what if you don't stay there? Well, what if they put you off in another institution that is not going to be as easy on you? Maybe not as easy for your girlfriend to come to, or Ricky to bring you contraband and whatever. You know, you might be shit out of luck, but you already are. But you might be more shit out of luck. Yeah, Barry writes my lawyer. Oh, by the way, I got Barry's picture in jail on the wall. And the best thing I could do is bring my computer over. I can't. I don't have it in a frame yet, but we're going to have to get a frame for this. And I have to look in here, see what you're looking at here. Do you see that? Yeah. Yeah, I've been framed. I tell you, I've been framed. This is going to go in a nice frame eventually. I might even have one I could use here. I'm not sure. But yeah, there you go. I got him hanging on my bedroom wall. I'm very proud. Barry behind bars, like I promised, folks. I promised you. I promised myself. And I made it come true. When you dream upon a star, really lucky you are. Yeah, I'm not gonna get an expensive frame for him. But I got some pretty pictures though that I want to put on the wall too. You know, I like to put some. Is this a nice photograph? I decided to do little flowers. You know, this is kind of a nice thing. You can't see the clarity of this really. It's very high definition. You can't really appreciate it unless you actually see the print itself. Yeah, and this one here is an abstract. It's a nature abstract is what it is. That's the moon up there. These are two different types of plants growing here in the darkness. And the print is really nice. It's actually very sharp, and it's kind of a little abstract deal. When you wish upon a star, man, you could warn somebody. I told him about the nails in the coffin. How many times did I say that? And him shooting himself in the foot. I put him in there, but in a sense, he put himself in there because he didn't want to stop, guys. And this is what happens. And like I've been saying, and you know, and a lot of people, you don't want to believe me, that when people cause trouble like this, I mean, it usually does not turn out very well for them, okay? As in Barry's case here, well, that's proof. And my God, it's going to get so bad for him. No, it's not to get to the point it's never going to get to that point. I will assure you of that. The more that happens to him, the more happier I am. Anyway, that's the news that's fit to print. And there's been a lot for the day happening. My God, and I keep my viewers informed. I do. I keep my viewers informed to the best I can. I mean, there's certain things I can talk about, and there's certain things I cannot talk about. So I hope you appreciate that I let loose with anything. Because, you know, quite frankly, I don't have to let loose with anything. You know, just let it happen. Like I said before, we're at a point where just sit back and just watch the legal system, you know, do what they need to do. I mean, there's been enough talk about Barry, you know, that I just don't think that we would need to get too intense with what's going on, even bother to talk too much more about it. But I have to be honest with you. Oh my God, that's right. I got a whole bottle of diphenhydramine. Wow, okay. Then I ran out of this stuff. I'll be ding dong. Wow. Okay, I got plenty of this. I thought I didn't have much. Okay. You guys satisfied or you want more? I'm giving you what I got. I'm giving it all she's got, Captain. And Mr. Nut Hansen. Capitan Nut Hansen, I'm giving it all she's got, sir. I'm giving it all she's got. Now, I'm sure you're going to be a heavy contributor to my show, Capitan, once the monetization sign goes back on here again, right, in the near future. Is that right, Mr. Capitan? I certainly hope so. Because we are open for business, baby, and we will be. We will be. Don't forget. Yeah. Barry and Ann cheated on. Yes, I know. Very aware of that. It's just, how fucking dysfunctional can one person be, right? Yeah, I'm very familiar. I know the guy. I know who he is. He had her on the show trying to explain her side of it. Whether they're still together, I really don't know. It has to do with how desperate he is after she was taking his money and helping Barry out and everything else. Yeah, I know the whole story on that. Ain't this amazing? Why don't you guys talk for a while? Don't mind what I do. This is all yours, man. I saw Ann and Barry's show. I bet you were. I bet he was shocked. The boyfriend of her was shocked. She fucked him over, man. Royally, didn't she? She fucked him over. She certainly did. She certainly did. So can you imagine that? Barry wrote my lawyer. He wrote my fucking lawyer. What a mistake that was. What a mistake that was. This guy's got brains up his ass. If that at all. I don't know. I think God made his brain up in his anal canal. I don't know what they put in as a brain. Maybe they put fucking mucus glands for a brain or something. I don't know. They got things mixed up biologically. I have no idea. But holy crap. As Popeye says, holy shit on a shingle. Holy shit on a shingle. Right, Popeye? Still believe, Popeye? Come on, Robert Clausen. You really believe that Barry got an immigration all on his own? After all you heard, Popeye, you really think that's the way it happened? And you better get on your meds. If you're not on meds, then you better start taking meds, Bobo, because you know how it happened. But you just don't want to give me, Uncle Frankie, the credit. The credit, I tell you. You don't want to give me the credit. Boyfriend's back and you're gonna be in trouble. The boyfriend's back. Okay, I said, it's not a good thing he did, sir, to my lawyer. It's not a good thing he did. He says his mother is sick in the hospital. So, see, what he's trying to do for him is his hospital's out here, right? Now he's saying that my mother's sick in the hospital and I gotta get home. He thinks that's his ace in the hole. And I gotta get home. Yeah, I know. He'll bury himself. He's doing it all on his own, really. I mean, I'm doing the legal things, but he's actually giving all the evidence and damning things that I need to do to him. So it's kind of a symbiotic relationship to me and Barry because, he's giving me what I want, okay? And I'm not even trying. His mom hates him, but I know his family don't like him. He has nowhere to go out there. And he don't really want to go back anyway because of the fact, he'll never get back in this country again, for one. But number two, he's going to be faced with the law once he gets out there, too. Don't forget the child support. And after so many years, after it comes to a certain amount of money, it becomes a felony. So this guy is just that's a badass story is what it is, man. All the way around. It's a no-win situation about him. Okay, you guys can talk a bit on your own for a little bit. More thumbs up would be nice. Tommy boy. I think he's going to do a lot of time while he's waiting for his case. You remember how there's the arraignment and back to this again. Okay. After the servants of the arrest warrant, the case will start. First there's an arraignment, then there's a pre-trial, and then there's a trial. And any evidence with somebody else, it's going to be a long time. And what I've heard from people that have actually been in jail there, they said, it's like you don't exist over there. It's like it's the land of the forgotten. You're just rotting away in that heat and humidity, getting fungus between your toes and nails and getting infections. Oh my God, there was one guy, and he winds up in Bicutan, and I've seen the pictures of the guy who was in Bicutan. He had this little pirate site, whatever you want to call it there, where he was exposing the conditions of Bicutan. And this one guy took a picture of it. It was really nasty. This guy had all these big lumps or swells all over his bald head, his arms. You see the infection he had on his arm. Holy crap. I don't understand why he wasn't getting the medical help he needed. This guy looked like he was going to die. All over his face, his bald head, his arms, big welts everywhere. Pustulous welts. That's how nasty the things that are just, these viruses and bacteria and shit in these places, man. He could have all the fun he wants. Brevis said, Barry could do 3 months on standing on his head, Brevis said. Well, Brevis knows everything. We know that. Bet Brevis couldn't do 3 months. You don't have to stand on his head. Barry can do a whole lot more than 3 months. Tell you that right now. What do you think of that? About something, don't you, boy? We didn't forget about you, Ricky. Don't worry about it. We keep you in the limelight here. Frankie, not in the long shot am I forgetting about you. Anyway, yeah, I know. I guess old Ricky boy is full of course. Why it was called BS Travel, Big Shit Travel is what it should have been called, Big Shit Travel. All the news that's fit the print, folks. I gotta go. Believe it or not, I got a resemblance of a life outside of YouTube. You probably wouldn't know it with all the shows I did today, but it doesn't mean I don't do anything in between these shows. But when something comes up that's juicy, particularly Barry Boy, Barry Boy, I'm going to share it with you. Did you see his picture on my wall in behind bars? You'll have to watch the beginning of my show. I have to scroll back. Yeah, I got him hanging on my wall. I just got to find a frame for it. It's Barry standing behind jail. And you don't know what that means to me. To get to that point, it was utopia for me. I was euphoric, okay, because of all the bullshit involved. I told you, to do a case on somebody, not only you got to have money, you got to control your stress. You got to have a lot of time. You got to have a lot of disappointments. I mean, work. I mean, a lot of work. No thanks out there that supposedly support me. Nobody wanted to get involved. Let Frank do all the dirty work. Well, whether you were involved or not, I achieved what I needed to achieve and more. So whether or not you helped or not, I did it on my own, because that's the way shame on you people. Shame on you people that never wrote letters to them, to different offices, that didn't try to do anything, that never supported my lawyer. Yeah. But the German dude, I guess he's got a young pussy there. If he gets to poke it every now and then, he's a happy man. That's the way it works. You haven't figured that shit out yet, then you never will. He knows she's guilty as shit. He knows that. But a man who can barely understand people speaking English, but with a German accent, becomes even more difficult. Speaking about, nosebleeds. Damn. But, he wants to have her around, and I guess that's his business. Yeah. Okay, folks, I gotta go. Thank you very much. 16 watch. I guess we'll accept that. That's all the news that's fit the print. And boy, I did a number of shows to the out. I was blue in the face. But I do it because, remember, I'm here. Leo Gaga now. I'm here because you're there, my friends. Although you weren't there, did you? In several different ways, were you now? That's right. Guilt. You should all be guilty. Especially PA Trucker, Don C, WTF, all promised me. Oh, Mike Ross, there you go, Mike Ross. All promised me 50,000 pesos. They said I could never do it. They said it's never going to happen. Popeye said it never was going to happen. That it was never going to happen. Well, bet they're thinking differently now, aren't they? I'm out of here, folks. Sweet dreams and flying machines.